Hello and welcome to Monday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic, where the puzzle on the screen unusually is not the puzzle I'm going to be attempting in today's video. This puzzle is called Boundaries. It's by Playmaker6174. It's magnificent, and it was the treat that I got to solve with Erin, one of our viewers. Erin won last month's competition over on Patreon, and that video is live. It went live at 10 AM this morning, so do check that out. If you haven't had a look at it, do have a look at Playmaker's puzzle. It's fantastic. Yeah, well, and the reason this is on screen was not just to introduce that video, but also because Mark has sent me a link to today's puzzle. So sometimes Mark likes to do this, and he gets me to open the puzzles live on camera, which normally means they have no digits in them or some really peculiar rule set to terrify me. But let's go and have a look and see what we've got here, and I'll click there. And we have got a tilt at full rank. Oh, I hope that's not full rank Sudoku, by Bellal. Bellal, solve counter 14. That's not many. Well, it's only been alive for 6 days. Bellal is... actually, I might be wrong. I think Bellal is the peddling pianist's father. And that might be... I think I have met I've definitely met the peddling pianist's father. And I think his pseudonym was Bellal. I hope I'm not misremembering that. I really apologise if I am. But anyway, that is who this might be by. A tilt at full rank. It's a very picturesque grid, actually. That is beautiful. But has it got full rank? I don't like full rank. Oh no, it is. I don't like full rank. Oh dear. Okay, let's read the rules together and see what's going on. We've got 0 to 8 Sudoku. Place a digit from 0 to 8 in each cell, such that no digit is repeated in any row, column, or 3x3 box. So that's already strange. So that's it's basically normal Sudoku, but without 9s and with 0s instead. Tilted 5x5 Latin square. What on earth? The digits in red circles are all from the same set of 5 of the numbers from 0 to 8. Which 5 are to be determined? None of these repeat in any of the diagonal lines of red circles. Right. Oh, I see. So yes, it's like a Sudoku within a Sudoku. So I think what that's saying is that those digits are all different, and these digits are all different, for example. But they're all from the same set of 5 digits that we're going to have to determine. Now, full rank. Okay, it says full rank. Each diagonal of the 5x5 Latin square can be read as a 5-digit number, and the 20 resulting numbers, each line is read from both directions, can be ranked in numerical order. The position in the rank, with lowest is 1, highest is 20, of some of the diagonals are given by the blue gauges. What? Attached to that diagonal. NB, 2-digit numbers are read from left to right and do not start with 0. There are no tied ranks in this puzzle. Oh, and then, okay, there's only one more rule, which is about crop key dots. It says the 2 digits separated by the white dot differ by 1. That's there. Oh dear, Mark, you are a beast. This is... well... Okay, let me try and explain. I have done an occasional full rank puzzle before, but I do not find them intuitive in any way. So let's imagine these 5 digits were made up of 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s and 5s. I'm just going to fill some in. 1, 3, 2, 5, 4, I suppose. Let's do one of these ones. 4, 5, 3, 2, 1. don't know. I might already have repeated one. I don't know. But the idea is that this is a number. Red left, well, not red in a northeasterly direction. So it is the number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is also red towards the southwest, the number 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Those numbers are treated differently. So obviously 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 is a bigger number than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it would be closer to being number, in fact it would be number 20, wouldn't it? Because you can't make a bigger number than that, 5, 4. Using the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, you cannot make a bigger number than 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So this would be the 20th number in the sequence. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 would be the first number in the sequence. This shows how bad I am at this, you know, that isn't just totally obvious the moment I do it. And this one, well, yeah, I think this would be the second lowest number. Because you couldn't put 1, 2 here. Oh, but no, it wouldn't necessarily. Because if I put 1, 2 here, and then say 1, 2, 4, 3, 5, or 1, 2, that wouldn't work from a Sudoku perspective. But if it could, then this could be the you know, not the lowest, not the next lowest, but the sort of anti-penultimate lowest. That cannot be the correct grammar. This is horrendous. I've got no idea. I just got an email with this saying open this one live. He didn't say how hard this is. It's probably a monster, an absolute monster. Do I understand the rules? Let me just think about that. Do I actually understand the rules? I mean, well, I think I do actually. But what I will say is that how can there possibly be enough information in this puzzle to solve it? So what we're saying is that number there indicates the rank from 1 to 20 of that number from this direction. Well, okay, what I will say is that is an absolutely remarkable construction. I mean, that is ludicrous. That is all there is. That is absolutely ludicrous. That's why, I mean, that's almost more impressive to me than a Miracle Sudoku. Because I just don't understand that at all. But anyway, a tilt at full rank by Bellal is what I'm going to try. But I've got some things to talk about first. Where's my list? Let's do a catch-up on Patreon. So over on Patreon, well, we've just seen what last month's competition winner got to do. So if you'd like a chance to make a Sudoku video with me, then that's the Ministry of Word Searches. That is on a totally different topic. Oh, but which I will mention actually briefly. No, I can't mention this. I can't. Well, all I'll say is in the 2019 Galactic Puzzle Hunt, this puzzle was one of the greatest puzzles I've ever solved, and we made a video about it many moons ago on the channel, and it's a video that I reminisced about yesterday for reasons I can't go into. But that video's only had sort of 20 or 30,000 views, and yet this puzzle, the Ministry of Word Searches, I don't want to spoil anything. It is a genius puzzle. It's one of the greatest puzzles ever. Anyway, that's not what I wanted to do. I got totally sidetracked. I'm so disorganized. Anyway, this is our Sudoku hunt. Our reward for patrons for the month of February. Are You My Mama? By the Paint by Numbers Institute. As of yesterday, we had 773 correct solutions to all the puzzles. So let's see how that has evolved, if at all. Oh, it has. There you go. 835 now. Over 1,500 patrons have solved the first puzzle. That is fantastic. Well done to all of you. Especially well done if you're part of the coterie. The 835. It's sort of an army of solvers who've managed to solve the whole thing. Really well done. You've got until the 20th. Do get involved. The puzzles are fantastic and you'll have a lot of fun. And the artwork in the Sudoku hunt is also very beautiful. Thanks to Clocksmith for that. And I've got birthdays to do as well. Let me look at my birthday list. Ketia, it was your birthday yesterday, but I only found out today. Your partner Charlie was man enough to admit that he was a little late with the intro. In fact, I think I met the two of you. Did I meet the two of you in Stratford? When I might have met the constructor of this puzzle, that's when I met the pedaling pianist's father. I'm sure his pseudonym was Bellal. Anyway, sorry, Sunny. Ketia, it was your birthday yesterday. I think you had a great day, I'm told, visiting a flower garden. To have a look at the snowdrops. It's what a lovely thing to do on your birthday. And you had chocolate cake with so much frosting it was described as extreme frosting. Well, that sounds fantastic, and I hope it was a great day. It sounds like it was. Now, birthdays today. Aidan, you've turned 20 down there in Australia today. I know this because your girlfriend Kirsten was very diligent. 4 emails at least I've had from Kirsten. So Aidan, I hope you have a great birthday. To be 20 again. I'm not sure whereabouts in Australia you are, but I hope you get some chocolate cake. Next, Dallas. I'd like to be called Dallas. I mean, you can't fail in life if you're called Dallas. Dallas, you've turned 30 today, 10 years older than Aidan. And I know this because your wife Casey wrote to us and said you might like a shout out, so I hope that's true. And Dallas, many happy returns. Next, Marta. Marta, you've turned 29 today. And I know this because your partner Toby wrote to us and told us that the two of you, I think Toby's been watching for 5 years, got you into the puzzles as well, Marta, but you now solve together. You try and solve a couple of puzzles a week together, especially Fog of War and Rat Run. Well, you're connoisseurs then, that they are good. That's a good two to choose. And now Marta's whole family is hooked on Sudoku as well. So I have the two of you to thank for spreading the word about cracking the cryptic. Thank you for doing that. And Marta, I hope you have a great birthday today. And then finally, Robert. Robert, it's your birthday. I know this because your son Gavin wrote to us. And Robert, apparently you watch the channel with your dogs, and you swear that the dogs like the videos as much as you do. That could be read in a number of ways. But anyway, Robert, many, many happy returns. Thank you for watching with your dogs. And yeah, I hope you get chocolate cake today. Now I'm going to have to do some solving, aren't I? Let's have a look. We've done the rules of a tilt at full rank. I hope my subconscious has been busy in the meantime. Do have a go. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual. But now I get to play. Let's get cracking. Well, that is a terrifying thought. But we could say one. I've got a 1-2 pair. That's right, is it? There are no leading zeros in these numbers. I remember it was saying that. MB, 2-digit numbers are read from left to right and do not start with 0. Right. Okay. So one of these is a 20, and it is indicating the biggest number. In the tilted Latin square, to use its technical term. Yeah, because these numbers can't begin with 0. So one of them is a teenage number. It's sort of 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. It's probably, no, it can be 10 because you can have 0. Of course you can have 0. So one of them must begin with 2 and is a 20 number. So, and well, is the number 20. So that means one of those is 0, which I'm going to claim is almost certainly not that one. Because if that's 0, that would be a 1 and that would be a 2 because of the consecutive nature of things. So 0, 1, 2, that would be 1 and that would be something, but not 0 or 1 or 2. So that would be 13 or higher. But couldn't, oh, it can't be 90. Oh, okay, yes, all right. So is it something to do with the fact that you can't index nines in this puzzle? I don't know. I haven't got a clue, actually. What? How are you meant to start this? This is ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous, Mark. Oh, goodness me. Have I just wasted 15 minutes of time? Because I'm going to have to do all the birthdays again if I find a video a puzzle I can solve. Place the digit 0 to 8. But I don't know what's in the square. It's not Sudoku or something, is it? Like that digit. Yeah, that's mildly interesting, actually. That digit in this box, presumably it can't go in those squares, because then it would repeat within the Latin square. You know, it would repeat in, if I can call it that row 2 of the Latin square. It's not allowed to repeat. It's not allowed to repeat in column 2 of the Latin square, so that digit does go in one of those squares. But there's nothing. That is not. It's not. So okay, yeah. Well, I don't think it's enough. But I'm gonna carry on with that idea. So that digit in this. Well, no. Do we know? It doesn't have to appear in a circle in that box. It does. It does actually. So I hadn't spotted this. My logic wasn't correct in my brain. I was assuming it had to go in a circle in this box. That is true actually, because those must be 5 different digits, and we know that the Latin square has 5 different digits. So one of those digits is yellow. So it is true to say one of those is yellow, but I hadn't actually understood that when I made that pencil mark. And the reason I sort of recapitulated my logic was that I then realised that there doesn't have to be a yellow in those 4 circles. And there might, well, in fact, there can't be there, because that would be in the same row. But does there have to be there? No. No, because imagine that. Oh, no, that can't be yellow. Oh, yes, so yellow has to appear in the top row of this Latin square. So actually, yellow is in one of those squares. So yellow is in one of those squares, perhaps? Yes, that's the same sort of logic. So if that was yellow, that would be yellow, that would be yellow. And then I haven't put a yellow in that row, which would have to be there. But if that was yellow, this cannot be how to solve it. It's just too complicated. And it's not getting to the heart of the fact, which is you don't know. You don't know what the numbers are. No, it must be to do with either these numbers or these numbers. But how can it be? All right, there are 20 numbers. So the biggest number, no, it could be in a corner. Well, okay, still, if it's in a corner, it's still accounting for 2 numbers, because every number has to be read in 2 directions. So let's imagine this square is the biggest number let's make it 8. Let's just assume 8 being the biggest number is there. Is it true to say that within the rankings of 1 to 20, 4 numbers begin with 8. That must be right. I feel like that's right. Yeah, that would work, wouldn't it? So yes, each of the 5 numbers would have 4. Yeah, what I'm trying to articulate very poorly is, let's say 8 was here, 8 was here, because 8 has to appear in those cells. 8 has to appear in these cells. Let's put it there. And then 8 has to appear in those cells. Let's put it there. Now, what I'm thinking is, each of these 8s corresponds to a whopping great digit, a whopping great number, which cannot be beaten even if there was a 7 in the puzzle. Even if that was a 7, obviously this number, whatever it is quite a big number, but it's not as big as the number that starts with 8. So whatever the biggest number is, because it must appear in the perimeter, it must appear, well, it doesn't have to appear 4 times in the perimeter. It could appear less than that. But let's say it was here. It would still correspond to 2 numbers. It would correspond to that number and that number. And then if this was 8, that would correspond to this number. And if this was 8, that would correspond to that number. So the 8 is always, or the highest digit in the Latin square is responsible for the 20th, 19th, 18th, and 17th ranks. So the second highest number is responsible for 16, 15, 14, 13. Then the third highest number is 12, 11, 10, 9. Fourth, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, okay, so that works as an observation. And we know that one of these is the 20 number. So one of those is the biggest number in the puzzle. I mean, what on earth is that? How is that even remotely helpful? So that is not the biggest number. Because one of those, let's use A, B, C, D, and E. So E, I'm going to say E is the highest number. So E is one of those. So that can't be E. Because if that was E, neither of those could be the highest number, and therefore the 20 that must exist in one of these couldn't exist. So am I being incredibly dense here? How do you even do this? They can't. What's the other one then? So the other one is a teenage number that is not 10, because the 20, wherever the 20 is, that's 20. So whichever one is the 1, let's just say this is the 1, just so we can work this out. This would be 20. Now this would be 3, 4, 5, 6. Right. I've got one deduction. This digit would be 3, 4, 5, 6, I think. Because if it was 7 or 8 here, let's make it 7 just to make sure that we crystallize this thought. Wouldn't that also begin with E? I think it would. So if that's 20 and that's E, 20, 19, 18, 17 all begin with E, and but that E stops that being an E by Sudoku, not on the Latin square, but on actual Sudoku in the Sudoku puzzle, which is something that is weird. But okay, so I don't think that's possible. Right. Okay, so here is a second deduction that flows from that. 16, 13, yeah. So because this digit by Sudoku now, because it can't be 0, 1 or 2, is 3, 4, 5 or 6. It can't be 7 or 8 because it would begin with E. This is D. Well, actually, it could be the other way round, obviously. This is a DE pair, by which I mean that these are the two highest digits in the puzzle. Because I know that the ranks that don't begin with the E digit, they must begin, there's going to be 4 digits then that are all going to begin with the second highest digit. Because that digit, which I'm defining as D, must make an appearance in the perimeter 4 times, or at least leading to 4 numbers if it was in a corner. So I'm going to get rid of this now because it's probably the wrong way round. That one we don't know. 3, 4, 5, 6 and 0. Yeah, so these squares are either 0, whoops, central pencil marks, or 3, 4, 5, 6. And this is a DE pair. How can this, I mean, even though I've got somewhere here, and like I'm not unhappy to get that this is a DE pair, the sheer amount of information that we need to extract from this, we've got to somehow know exactly what the 5 digits are in the red thing, somehow order those digits, somehow then do Sudoku on the rest of the digits, all from 4 clues where we don't know. I know these are different. I know that digit is now A, B or C. I'm going to say that digit is A, B or C. Oh, no, you are... Well, that's A, B or C. Surely this doesn't do things. That's actually really weird. But okay, I've just gone on a rant, but now I'm suddenly thinking, good grief, because just knowing those two are DE, I think, sort of by a process of Sudoku and Latin square Sudoku, that can't be D or E because it sees both flavours. That can't be D or E because it sees both flavours by Sudoku, and that can't be D and E because it sees both flavours in the Latin square. So that means those two are D and E. Oh, that was almost beautiful, wasn't it? Are there any other cells that see both? Maybe I colour these in. Let's make those colours. Now, can I colour those in? Almost certainly not, but I'm not absolutely sure. I mean, it's interesting. It's quite difficult now to put the purple DE into row 2 of the Latin square. It can't go there because it's in that's column 3 of the Latin square. It can't go there by Sudoku. It's not equal to A, B or C, so it's either there or there. I'm just bored. Just let me think. Just let me think about this for a second. Right. This might be wrong, but is it actually possible for that square to be that colour? That can't be right. Right. So, I've not thought about these at all, beyond the fact that surely both of those have to be from A, B and C, i.e. not the two largest digits in this puzzle. Because the maximum that could be is, let's say that was 8, i.e. that's it's much nearer the bottom rank than the top rank. Top rank is 20, and we know that 20 to 17 is one of those digits, the digits that start with one of those digits. And then 16 down to 13 inclusive is the other one. So these two are both A, B and C. Because whatever these are single digit totals. And now I'm going to go, where does green go in that number? Because it's not there and it's not there. So that's green. And if that's green, these are A, B and C. And now, this is good. Where does green go in that number? There is the answer. Why does it keep doing that? Where does... Oh, now that one's purple. Because that's in the same row as a DE. So that one's green. And I've got 2, 3, 4. I should be able to get the last DE by Sudoku. I've not put DE, green DE, into that row. And it's only got one place it can go. So that is DE. And now can we do the purples? The answer is yes, we can. We can, because in this row, where does the purple go? That one sees both of those squares by the weird rule. So that is purple. Purple in this number is there. Purple in this number is there. And that's 5 purples. Wow. Okay, well I feel much happier about this now. So actually let's just label all the others A, B, C. And I imagine what we're going to have to do is to colour these as well. Although this might be a fool's errand. Let's just see how far we can go with that. Why does it keep doing that? Green. And then this one can be blue. So in this column there are 5 digits. So all 5 digits must make an appearance. So that's yellow. Now blue can't repeat in that row of the Latin square. This is genius. This has been set by a genius. Now, can I do Sudoku and make that orange? I might not be able to do that. Well, in this row, that all colours have to appear. So this digit cannot be yellow, but this number in the Latin square has to have yellow in it. So that's yellow, and now it has to have blue in it. So this is orange by a dint of a process known as Sudoku. That's got to have a blue in that number down there. Yeah, we're going to get all the colours, aren't we? Which is going to be, I mean, that to me, that is absolutely extraordinary. That we can colour the numbers here. And that's orange. Right. So what does that mean? I don't know. But we have 2 very big numbers at least I've spotted. DE starts 2 numbers. So I'm just going to imagine that these are 8s and 7s. So one way round, this is an 8-7 number, and one way round, it's a 7-8 number. So there's no way that that can be the highest number. No, I'm not having it. Right, imagine that this was the highest number, 20. Sorry, let me go 20. So if this is 20, what we're saying is that purple is the highest number in the puzzle. Let's say it's 8. So we're saying that this digit must be a pretty big number, but it's not the great number, is it? Because we know that if this is the highest number, green is the second highest number. So this number, which starts with 8 and then green, is definitely higher than this number, and so the 20 is definitely wrong. This is 1. I've got a digit. That's a 2. That's a 0. Oh, that's not the way I thought that was going to go. So I've now got 2, 0, 1 here. So 1 is in one of those squares. So can we disprove 1? Yes, we can. We can. 1 is not blue because it would reappear in its own column. So 1... No, we can't say that. I was going to say 1 is not in the Latin square, but that's... Although, if 1 is in the Latin square, it's got to be the colour that doesn't appear in box 2, which is the colour purple. And 1 is not purple. Right, so 1 in this puzzle is not in the 5-cell Latin square. Which is horrible. It doesn't do anything, does it? That is very annoying. So maybe what we've got to do... Well, okay, I tell you what we have to do. We now know, because this is the number 20, green is E. That's what we have to do. Green is the number that's the highest. So D is this number. D is purple. So we know that this is not 0 because we know that this is therefore beginning. This is the rank of this number. Oh, can we? Is there a number that begins? Yeah, there we go. This number begins with D and goes to E, which is an even higher number than D. So imagine this was 7. This would go 7, 8. So this number goes down to one of the numbers that we're saying A, B, and C are well, A is the lowest, B is the second lowest, and then C is the middle E. So this is no longer a 6 because we know that 16 is the highest D number. So let's find all the D's on the perimeter. We've got... Oh, bobbins, that's not what... Well, no, that doesn't work. Until I know the order of... Until I know the order of these A, B's and C's, I can't work out what that number is. So maybe... Oh, nearly. So I know 1 is not in the Latin square. It's nearly possible to prove that 2 isn't in the Latin square. Because for 2 to be in the Latin square... Well, hang on. It is possible to prove it. Yeah, if 2 is in the Latin square, what colour are we going to assign it? Oh no, it could be A. It could be orange, sorry. I'm wrong. Okay. It clearly can't be any of those colours. So it's not yellow, and it's not blue, and it's not green. Now it's not purple, because if 2 was the second highest number, then ABC would only be selected from 0 and 1, and that's not good enough. In fact, it's doubly not good enough because we know 1 is not in the Latin square. So the only thing that 2 could be would be orange. So if 2 is orange, does the world break or not? Absolutely no. I mean, it really doesn't. You just place all the 2s around the grid. I mean, it might break for technical reasons to do with sort of rankings or something, but it definitely doesn't break from a Sudoku perspective. Blue from a Sudoku perspective is 0 or 1. Ah, so blue can't be C. Aha, there we go. Oh, hang on, blue can't be 1. Nothing can be 1. Sorry. Oh my goodness. Right, where's blue in this column? The answer is, well, the answer by Sudoku is in one of those squares, but I worked out before that 1 was not on the Latin square. So I don't think that can be blue. So this is 0, and 0 is in the Latin square and is the digit A, obviously, because it's the lowest. So these are 0. And all of the other ABC numbers are now not A. And I can place 0 here by Sudoku. 0 is in one of those 2. Definitely going to record that. Oh, record that. And 0 is in one of those 2, I think. And I've got 7 zeros in the grid, which is a tremendous leap forward, frankly. Although 0 is the least, it puts the least amount of pressure on the values of B, C, D, and E. Now, so if 2 is in the Latin square, it's now definitely B, and it's orange. Oh, but hang on, what's that? Because that number, this number begins with the lowest digit. So this rank is 1, 2, 3, or 4. So this is 1, 3, or 4, I think. Because although, but then it goes to E. So this must be very high. So do any other zeros on the perimeter go to E? Because if they don't, that has to be 4. These definitely don't. There should be no, that's not the right way. Right, yeah, look at 0 and where it goes. So 0 goes to B or C, so that's the sort of 2 very lowish numbers. D is the nearly the biggest, but not as big as E. That one goes to B or C as well. And this one goes to E. So that's got to be the biggest of the smallest numbers. The smallest number in the Latin squares, biggest number. If you see what I mean. That's 4. Now, how many colours does that see? It sees B and C. So if 4 is in the Latin square, it is D or E. It can't be E, surely. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. No, we know 1 is not in the piece. So it would have to be D, which is purple. Oh dear. Oh no, this is the garage. I have to take this call. I'm so sorry. I have to take this call. Right, sorry about that. That was the garage. I had to take that call because my car needs mending again. So I have no recollection of what we were doing. What were we doing? I made that 4. And then I've got the cursor here. Why? I know. I was thinking about whether 4 was in the Latin square. And I worked out it would have to be D, didn't I? So let's think about that. Is that possible? That would put 4 in the corner. 4 up there. I don't know. I don't know. Ah, but do I know this is B now? I do. Oh, this is so brilliant. This puzzle is brilliant. It is brilliant because, yeah, this must be right. This is a number. That may seem a slightly fatuous statement, but it is. That is a number. Now, what number is it? I don't know, but it's a bigger number than 4 because this number, B or C, is clearly bigger than the 0, which was the lowest number in the puzzle. Now, I don't think this could be big enough to be the C number because the C number we know corresponds to the ranks 9, 10, 11 and 12. But I can't write 9 into this Sudoku because it doesn't exist in this Sudoku. So whatever number this is, it's 5, 6, 7 or 8. And this, yellow, is B. Oh, bobbins. Yellow is B. Let's get rid of that. So orange is C. Oh, my phone is buzzing again. Okay, that's okay. And right, can we work out where this is in the rank? Let's look at all the B's. So that's going to be the lowest one. B0. BE, that's the highest one. So this can't be 8. BD, that's going to be higher than BC, isn't it? So, right, so we know exactly where this one is in the rankings because it's got to be lower than BE, BD, and higher than B0. So this is 6, isn't it? 5 would be B0. So that's a 6. But what does that do for us, though? Oh, do I know what this number is now, then? So DC is where we're going for. So DE will be the highest number within the D bracket. That's why we took 16 out here, isn't it? So where are the other D's? Okay, there are 2 here. So D0, that's going to be the lowest of the D's. So we take 3 out. And DB is definitely lower than DC, so we take 4 out. That's 5. And as a pregnant pause while I try and work out how we're going to use this. So we've got all the sort of middle entropy digits. So, okay, so if 2's in the Latin square now, that can't work, can it? Because now we've worked out orange is C. Yeah, if 2 was one of the coloured cells, then by Sudoku, it's either D or orange. Now, it's not D because D is the second highest number, and it's not C, actually, because that would mean there were 2 digits on the Latin square lower than 2, and 1 cannot go on the Latin square. So the digits that are on the Latin square, we know 0 is on, and we know the next highest digit that's on is 3 or higher. I wonder if we can get rid of 4. So, okay, let's just think about this. We'll pencil mark this digit. So this digit is B, and that could be 3. How big could it be? It can't be 5, actually. Can it be? Maybe it has to be 3 or 4. It can't be 4, because it sees 4 here. So can it be 6? No, it can't. It's 3. B is 3, I think. If B was 6, then C, D, E would have to be selected from 7 and 8 because there is no 9. So B is 3. B is 3. which means we can, yeah, we can do a bit of Sudoku with that actually. Down here, 3 is in one of those squares, possibly in the corner, but 3 is here now. 3 is here. That's placing, right, that places my 0. So that's the main thing we've just learned, is that this is not now. So we've got all the zeros in the grid. We've got some 3s. We've got another, oh no, we didn't get a 3 in the corner, sorry. We get another 3 here. Okay, and now we're going to think about C. Now C can't be 4, because it C's 4. It could have been 4 from ranking, but it can't be 4 by Sudoku. Now, can it be 5? We have got a 5 in the grid, but I don't think it's seeing C. Can C be... C can't be 6, actually. So if C... Alright, so if C is not 5, it has to be 7. It can't be 7, because there are 2 digits higher than it in the ranking. So C is 5. And that's also 5 then. So that's 5 by Sudoku. This is 5 by Sudoku. This is one of my favourite puzzles I have done in ages. It's so memorable because it looks so impossible. So, right, so D is 6 or 7 and E is 7 or 8. And it must, oh, it's done by the 6. That's lovely. Because we're looking for a higher digit than 5. But D can't be 6, so D is 7 wherever that appears, which means E is 8 wherever it appears. And hopefully Sudoku will now, yeah, look, 7 goes there, 7 goes there, 7 goes here. All of the all your 7s are belong to us in a trice. 8s, yeah, I can get an 8 immediately here. Oh, can we do more? Oh, please, please, please. Yes, I can do another one there. I can do that one, which means that one must be an 8 by Sudoku. 2, 3, 4, and I've got, okay, I've done all the 8s. So all I've got to do, 1 I can put there by Sudoku, 1 here, 1 in one of those, 1 in one of these, 1 in one of those. Oh, this is going to run out. Bobbins. Okay, but that digit is doable. That is a 2 by dint of the fact that it's one of the only things it can be. So 2 is in one of those. This digit I should be able to get, shouldn't I? 0, 1, is it? God, my scanning's gone to pot because of the strange... It's so strange not seeing a 9. So there's a 6 in one of those. Oh, what are those? 6 and 4. Oh, that's doable. Oh, sorry, that's easy enough, isn't it? 4 and 6. 2 I've not put in that row. This row has not had 4. What is it? 4 and 6, is it? Those squares? Okay, and 6 down here sees those. So 4 and 6 go in. Those squares are 2 and something. 2 and 4. So these squares are now known. They're 1 and 6. This column is very doable. That's a 4. These digits are now 2 and something. 2 and 6 again. What about those squares? 1, 2, 4. And that's not 2. Oh. No, I can't do it. Okay. What's... I don't really know where to look here. Maybe column 3? Oh, that's 1, 2, and 4 again. I've just said that. Okay, well, let's put it in and see if Sudoku's our friend. It very rarely is in these situations. That's 1 or 2. So is that 1, 2, or 6, I suppose? It's not... Oh goodness, where's 6 in this row is the question I should have asked. That would have been straightforward, wouldn't it? 2 is in one of those. Wow. Where's 2 in column 5? Here. So these digits are 6 and 4. I feel like that's resolved as well, but never mind, I can get this square. That's a 2. So let's put that in. That's 2, that's 4. I need 1 and 6 in this column. I can do it. 6, 1, 1, 4, 2, 4, 6, 6, 1. This is no longer a 1, so this should be a 2, 4 pair, and we know the order. 2, 4, 1, 4, no, careful, 6, looks like it's what's going on. So I should have 5 digits coloured in every single box, and I do. I think that must be right. There's no, that is a puzzle of total genius, Bellal. And if you're the chess playing Bellal, who I met in Stratford, my hat is off to you. Well, whether you are or not, that is a sensationally good puzzle. Just ridiculous. It is a miracle puzzle in every way, apart from the fact it doesn't have a blank grid, but it really is a miracle. I loved it. I loved that puzzle. Good grief. Let me know in the comments how you got on with it. I'm going to go and call Mark, and I enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind, and we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.